Hey guys, this is Carrie, and in this video we're going to be continuing our About Me web pages by adding list to them. So in order to do that, we have to go back to our code editor. So we're going to go to the website replit.com. We're going to log in. I'm going to log in with my email address. And it should show my username here, which it does. In order to access your old files, you can either scroll down here to recent, or you can click here this folder, My REPLs. Each of your projects is called a REPL on this website. And you should see one with the name About Me 2021. So I'm going to click that. Now one thing you might want to do, I don't really want to do it, is maybe you have a typo in the name of your project. If you want to change the name of your project, you can just click up here, the name of your project, and you can change it here. And when you click outside of it, you'll notice that the name of your project has changed. I am going to delete that though, and then go here. Cool. So this is updated. It does look like it's resyncing to save with the cloud. So now that it's resynced, everything is good. All right, so it's time for me to start adding to my web page. But before I do that, it's always a good habit to get into to run our web page or to open our web page up in a separate browser in order to see the web page itself. So now that we can see the web page, what we want to do is we want to start adding some more features to it. So to add those features to it, we're going to be using the HTML coding syntax to create some new elements. So we had like a year and a half of quarantine, and I have to admit I have a bit of an ulterior motive to this part of the project. I'm going to be asking you guys for your favorite films so that maybe I can get some good film recommendations. But the way that I'm going to do it is I'm going to say, let's add to our About Me a list of our favorite films. So here we go. I'm going to start by creating a little title for this section called Favorite Films. Oh, and in order to do that, I'm actually going to use the structure that I like to use, which is to create the H3 and then the closing tag. Remember, there is a shortcut for doing this, which is to just type H3 and then tab, and it will make both for you. Now that I've got this opening and closing tag set up, I'm going to create a title. And the reason why I'm choosing H3 is I'd like all of my sections to have headers of the same size. So this will say Favorite Films. And now I'll run it. If I open it in its own tab here, you'll see that it's another header of the exact same size as this one. It's okay to have two different H3 headers. Sometimes students think, oh, I need to have H4 here so that they're different. Nah, they can both be H3. So now that we've got that with the H3 header, I want to add a list of my favorite films. So I want to approach this as though maybe you don't have a teacher here teaching you how to do every step along the way. And the way that I would learn how to do this if I were a student doing it is to just Google HTML list. And you're going to find a bunch of really helpful websites. So one website that I find really helpful is W3 Schools. So I'm going to click W3 Schools. Now, in order to think about my favorite films, I'm actually going to want to use, and I have to choose between an unordered and an ordered list. I probably want to rank my films, so I'm going to use the ordered list. So this is an example of what I want to make it look like. So I'm going to scroll down here. This is for an unordered list, so one that looks like this, which we'll come back to shortly. And I'm going to scroll down here to an ordered list. And they've got a nice example here, which I always find the most helpful for learning this stuff. Let me click Try It Yourself. So let me try to match things up. They have an H2 here, and then the ordered list looks like this part right there, which I notice is the same as what's here in the example. So I'm just going to go with that. I'm going to pull this tab off to the side. I have a program that allows me to snap this to the side of my screen, which I don't think Macs come with, but I snapped these two apart. And I'm just gonna spread this editor out a little bit so that I can better see what I'm doing here. Okay, so here we go. H3 favorite films. Now I'm gonna start an ordered list, OL, and I'm gonna close an ordered list. So ordered list, close an ordered list. And it looks like they put them on two separate lines. That's totally okay. In fact, it's similar to our paragraph one. And then in between, we can put an ordered list. So I'm gonna make a mistake first, and I'm just gonna list out my favorite films. Up, oh wow. Okay, I don't know why I did that. Let me just see why I did that. Oh, UP, it thinks it's an Emmett abbreviation. And so when I pressed enter, it automatically turned it into a tag. There is no such thing as an up tag, so I'm gonna press Command Z and then enter again. Another way to do this is if I start typing something and I don't want the autocomplete, I can press the escape button and it will get rid of it. So Up is my favorite movie. My second favorite movie, I don't really watch too many movies, but I always choose this example. I'm kind of bummed. My second favorite movie is maybe Dr. Strangelove. It's an old movie about the atomic bomb. I don't know. My third favorite movie is this one's about the Cold War. What else? What other movies do I like? I just need one more. I don't know. 28 Days Later. Okay, cool. So I've got my 3 movies here, and I'm gonna see what happens when we load it. So I've moved this all the way to the side, so I'm not gonna use the play button to view mine. I'm just gonna refresh it here. You'll notice that it puts all of my films side by side. It does not make a list out of them. So to turn it into a list, we need to use some extra tags. So what we need to say is this is an ordered list, but this is my first list item. So I do opening tag li, closing tag li, because that's the end of my first list item. And I'm going to make some use of copy and paste here to speed things up. So I start my second list item here. I start my third list item here. And you'll notice if I forget the closing tags, this looks really bad. Oh no, it actually worked. That wasn't supposed to work. Make sure you put your closing tags. It will mess you up later on for something if you don't put your closing tags. So each tag, list item opens, list item closes. Ordered list opens, ordered list closes. Has a section like that. So next up, what we're going to do is we're going to create a section called Hobbies. And this one is going to be another H3. So I'll type H3 tab, and we'll make our Hobbies section. Now, when I think about hobbies, it might be a list as well. But it doesn't make sense for me to rank my hobbies as 1, 2, and 3 in order, like I would order my favorite films. So I'd like you to figure out, using the power of the internet, or this same web page itself, how you can make an unordered list where you list the items out as bullet points. As a hint, this web page is really, really good. So you'll see an unordered HTML list and then an example down here, but you'll have to teach yourself how to use this example to do this. All right, guys, that's the end of this video. By the time you're done, you're going to have 2 paragraphs for basic facts, another section with a paragraph and a header, and then 2 different list sections. One will be an ordered list, and the one you're figuring out right now is an unordered list. The ability to figure out something from the internet without somebody teaching you it is an incredibly powerful and important idea. All right, I'm going to stop the video here and let you figure it out on your own. Make an unordered list of hobbies.